we committed to in our manifesto, and I.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. The sun's come out. It's the week after Storm Dave, which was a hell of a storm. High winds and a lot of rain. After the storm had passed through, we had a couple of very warm days, and then or was that before the storm? You know, I think that was before the storm. After the storm, the temperatures went down and almost freezing overnight. So we've had a fandango, a bit of a dance of the plants as they've been going in the house, out of the house, in the house, out of the house. And I'm talking about tomatoes and aubergine seedlings, which we've grown from seed, but they're warm weather plants, and if you leave them outside when the weather gets down to virtually freezing overnight, you won't have much left in the morning. So we have to protect them plants, young plants, against frost and cold nights. In fact, the whole of April is unsettled, and I know that this weekend we've got April showers coming through, unpredictable. We don't know whether it's going to be hit or miss, but I'm sure we'll get one or two, if not more. And showers in April can be very heavy. So we won't be out of the woods as far as frost and unsettled weather goes until at least May time. But it's a good productive time of the year, and we're still getting on with stuff here on the allotment, the wartime allotment, the old wartime allotment. You'll be fascinated to know that allotmenteering developed from a much earlier form of gardening, which was a medieval form of strip gardening, and medieval strips are what allotments today are based upon. I'll go more into the history of allotment gardening in a future vlog, but for the time being, today we're going to concentrate on yet more allotment jobs, because the thing about allotmenteering is that it's a never-ending cycle of work. It's constant work. You're never finished. You're never finished on an allotment. You're always doing stuff. So there's always stuff to do. And every season brings up new things to do. So what I'm going to be continuing with today is I'm going to be using this stuff, which is kind of like fabricated plastic with these weave thing going through, which make it extra strong. So I'm going to be using that on a cold frame, which I'm restoring, which I told you about in the last vlog. And these, which I brought down, which I've never used before, these are plant halos, they're known as, and I'm going to show you how we're going to be using these. We're not going to actually be putting plants in them at the moment. All I'm doing is bringing them down to the plot and doing a kind of like dress rehearsal and working out where they're going to go and how I'm going to be using them. So I'm going to be doing that, as well as I've got some wood to restore some of the 4 central raised beds that Catherine's currently cultivating and getting the weeds out of. Have you got one of these? One of these. It's a it's a DAB radio, and they're brilliant for the plot because they are wind up. There's a wind up section to it where you can wind them up to charge them. It's got a good battery inside, so it lasts for hours on a single charge. But also it's got a light, so you can put the light on. That works, and it's got different settings for the light. Also, how do you get the light off? Okay. And also you can use it for Bluetooth and stuff like that, and it's got a solar panel charging unit there to charge the battery up, and you can put conventional batteries in here, AAA batteries. Now this radio is one of the radios recommended by the government in case of World War III, which is very appropriate as we're now in the middle of Donald Trump's war of convenience style, purposeless war in Iran. Waste of time. So anyway, if there is a third world war, we've got an SOS thing here, and it's a DAB radio and an FM radio. So hopefully there's 5 ways to charge it, and I'm not being paid to promote this, by the way, but I'll leave a link to where you can get it, because it's perfect for when you're on the allotment and you want a bit of sounds, you know, without the headphones, and it's hands-free. Have a bit of music, keep it reasonable though, don't upset your neighbours. So yeah, that's a good thing, that's a good little gadget. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll introduce you to the jobs we've got going on today. Yeah. So Catherine.
Hello.
Tell me what you're doing here.
What I'm doing here? Right. Well, these are 4 raised beds that we've had for a while. I think we've had them for 10, 15 years, haven't we? And they've lasted the course because they were really solid, good solid wood.
Yeah.
But we're replenishing the soil, conditioning the soil at the moment. We've taken the trellis out from here. This one where we normally grow runners or French beans or what else? I think we've grown cucumbers and tomatillos up them, haven't we, and various things. But they're all getting a nice condition for the soil. We're going to replenish the sides of some of the panels because the panels are wearing a bit thin on some sides. So we're going to
kind of decaying a bit, aren't they?
No, not all around, but on, you can see them here, can't you?
How long have we had these now?
12, 15 years.
12, 15
but they've
years,
lasted ages, and they've really served a purpose, and they're still usable. They just need a bit of reinforcement, really. Yeah, so these are all coming back into play.
So I've got some wood.
We've bought some wood. We've brought, I think, 4 planks I've put in, didn't I? Got 4 planks
It's
down.
a bit taller than that one, but we'll
be fine. We can
basically
just chop
attach them to them, and then we can
decide what's going in, because these are very useful. These are always, mostly all year round, these are used.
Yeah,
these
they are.
4.
Yeah.
So it pays dividends to get them into a proper condition now.
Yeah.
And they'll be good for the next number of years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going over them and putting.
No, I'm getting all the
weeding them.
roots out, because these 2 particularly got a little bit overcrowded with weeds and grasses coming through. They house the cucumber and the acacia.
Yeah.
This year, and runner beans. So those 2 need a really good going over to get all the root systems out. The old, you know, any weeds and couch grass that had combined in. These are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're going to get a reconditioning with some organic mix here.
Right.
And then they'll be ready for growing.
Right.
And erecting maybe we'll put a new runner bean structure in here, and then that's been repainted, so that's going to be repositioned in either one of these as well for climbers.
Okay.
Possibly cucumbers, outdoor cucumbers, or acacia.
Right.
So this is always a very fruitful space, isn't it? You know, it's always very productive for the climbers, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, particularly.
So it would be
Okay.
good if I start cutting the wood then? And
Yeah, if you want to start measuring wood,
Yeah.
these three are pretty much done. And it's just that one which only needs a little bit of attention because it's been done last week as well.
Okay, let's make a start.
The roots out because it does need sorting, this one. I'm going to pink the chest. Just let me get this one.
So, as you can see, the sides of these panels of this raised bed have decayed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this wood here, which is pre-treated. So it's got a guarantee for at least 5 years, this wood, and it's kind of lap shed wood that you can buy cheaply online, and it's pre-treated. So I'm gonna cut them so I can attach this to the existing wood underneath there, and they will sit a bit higher, a bit more proud, but that will give us a deeper raised bed at the end of the day. So I'm going to measure this out now. So I need to cut it so it's at that point there.
If you rebooked on an aging Kindle, you may have had a message from Amazon recently thanking you for being a long-term customer. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a kicker. So Amazon says Kindles released during or before 2012 will no longer receive updates from 20th of May, meaning some older Kindles will be unable to download new ebooks from the company. It's prompted an outcry on social media. So where does it leave Kindle users? Is there anything they can do to prevent their device from becoming another bit of tech junk? Well, Hugo Uri is the co-director of the Restart project, which encourages the reuse of joint. What is your reaction, first of all, to this? Sorry, did this allow the move?
Well, it's not really news that manufacturers try to make products obsolete and push people to upgrade.
Just move the camera around.
A bit just recently with Microsoft, basically stopping to support Windows 10 on hundreds of millions of computers. So there is a long history, and there's plenty of other products that aren't
Would be better if I had a better saw.
That's why I thought the other one, the electric saw would work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what might do it.
Oh, I don't think that'll do.
You didn't think that would go through?
No, it's too rough.
Too rough for blade, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need a smooth blade, really.
A little bit hard, a little bit warmer during Sunday. Lots of heavy showers opening up for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Windy conditions still as well. England and Wales, some sunshine and showers, but more heavy showers this time to the southeast. Thank you very much, Darren.
Okay.
the last word as we are finished and took the official say 30 was killed in Wednesday PRESCOT. Which is backed by Iran.
There we are. That's one of the raised beds repaired. So you're going to be painting this.
Yeah, I'm just getting all the surface flakes off, and then I'm going to paint it in 2 shades of grey.
2 shades of
Light
grey.
and dark.
2 shades.
Not 30 shades of grey or
No.
60 shades of green.
2 shades of grey. So we'll time lapse you doing that then. I'll leave the camera here.
Okie dokie.
He starts in on this face first.
I was going to start here actually, Phil, on this panel,
Oh, on that one.
on that side, yeah. So,
The sunny side up.
yeah.
So what's with the 2 shades of grey?
So what were you saying about the 2 shades of grey?
Yeah, what's with it?
Well, it's the only 2 shades of grey we've got. I think we might have a darker bluey grey, which I'll highlight these ridges or indents as we go down.
You're making it a bit arty, aren't you?
Well, it had 3 shades previously.
It's a bit French, that, isn't it?
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
Well, it had, see the green that's on the sage, that's on the shed there?
yeah,
It had that in there, but we haven't got any left.
yeah.
So I'm going to see if we've got some, even if we've got some purpley lilac, I can
It's looking better
just
though.
tone it down. I've got to do that side, yeah. I'll leave that to last.
What about the spiders?
They're okay. They're fine. They've just gone down the corner there. We've got 2 huge spiders.
They're massive.
Size of saucers they are. The
They
big.
are, aren't they? I need to sort this box out as well.
It does all need sorting. But I'm just going to leave that up to dry, this
Yeah.
area, and then I'm going to gently close it down and leave them in peace.
It does help
They're
painting
lovely spiders.
sheds and garden furniture, doesn't
Well, it
it?
preserves them.
Yeah.
It prolongs their life.
Because we've had this a long time, haven't
Yeah.
we? Only because
Yeah,
we
both
keep
of them.
painting it every year.
Since 2008.
Yeah, you just got to keep painting it.
2009, 2008.
Yeah, it's surprising how many people get sheds and stuff and they don't do anything with them, and they're
then they
surprised
just
when they rot.
when they fall apart. Oh, we know of someone with one of them, don't we?
Yeah. We know a lot of people like that, Kath. I'm telling you.
Yeah, indeed.
Look, I want to show you this. Look at this. There you go. George Harrison. on his dad's allotment, not far from here.
Yeah.
1962 that was. The Beatles were just making a name for themselves. But George here
Photo that.
was a lifetime gardener. Gardening all his life, wasn't he?
Yeah. Very much so.
So, good old George.
And he transformed
He's
that
a
mansion he bought.
He's a Merseybeat gardener. So garden really is rock and roll, don't you think?
He transformed that mansion he bought.
Yeah, I know he did.
Absolutely.
He bought a mansion in the 1970s,
Yeah,
didn't
and he renovated it and landscaped it from scratch.
he? He did. So anyone who says that gardening isn't rock and roll, get with it.
Down.
Down. There you go. Carry on then.
Well, I'm pretty much done for the time being for this. I
Right.
just need to touch bits up. I'm leaving that till I can get it all out.
Okay.
And also, Phil, that needs a bit of adjustment there.
What does it need?
Well, it needs a screw in it or something.
No, that comes off that
Oh,
front
does
bit.
that come off the front?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course it does, yeah.
comes off so you can sort stuff out.
Yeah, of course it does. I don't think we've ever removed it though, have we?
No.
Well, we need to try
I think
that.
that was designed as a compost bin, you know.
This was?
I think it was.
I think it may have been.
And that's why the front comes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you can raise the lid
Yeah.
as well to adjust the temperature,
Yeah.
maybe.
We just had it as a side storage
I think
unit
it had
for
a
the shed, didn't we?
multi-function, didn't it, really?
Okay, just a little update. The cauliflowers that were here are now out here in their final positions, growing positions, in full sun. And after, what you'll find is when you transplant plants, brassicas, any plants really, they do kind of sulk for a few days and they look limp and whatever. And then they pick up, you know, and they get over it basically. So this is Enviromesh here. It's quite old Enviromesh. It's got a few holes in it there, but the idea is it stops insects and various things getting into your crops. And this very fine netting is good if you're growing carrots, because it will protect the carrots from carrot root fly, and we have used it for that. Now, if you are transplanting brassicas, you will notice that these will grow, so you need something that's high enough to, you know, accommodate the growth of these plants, which hopefully these are. And these probably are too low down, these hoops here, so we may have to substitute them at a later date, but we've got bigger hoops so we can actually do that. But for the time being, they're fine. And part of the sulking process, you will also know that some of the leaves die off. The bottom leaves, the first leaves that they get as seedlings, they die off, which is no problem. We just clear them off as they grow, and it just, they will romp away now that the nights are getting longer. So yeah, now you may remember this coal frame. In the last video I showed you the lid, which was falling apart, but now with the use of various metal braces on all four corners, it's actually a good solid lid, and it's working now as a lid should work. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use some of that plastic there to cover this top bit here, because the polycarb that I took out, just loosen that bit, the polycarb that I took out was basically it was decaying on top. So if I put this on, and this is like a weaved fabric, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So that's the next job on the plot. So for this job I will need a pair of scissors. Okay, that helps. A Sharpie, yeah, a heavy duty stapler, and some staples. And these are T50 staples, the type that fit the heavy duty stapler. I'll leave a link at the bottom, and they're quite short ones. You can get long staples, but we don't need long staples, not for just this job. And these are galvanized as well, so they shouldn't rust. So yeah, staples, stapler, scissors, and Sharpie. Oh yes, and plastic to cover it. So first of all, I've got to measure out how much I'm going to need. It's got to be big enough for it to overlap on all four sides so we can staple it. So that's what we're going to do. Tight. Make sure that's overlapping enough there. And to start with, I'm just going to staple this bottom edge here. Just stretch it a bit there. Make it quite tight. Enough at that end, enough at that end. And I'm just going to mark out here with the Sharpie little marks where I need to cut, and I'm going to cut along this weave here. This is really strong plastic, this, by the way. So if we can cut in a straight line as long as we stay in the weave, as the weave gives us a straight line. There. I'll just show you that. You can see the straight line along there, marked out with the Sharpie. Okay. So, cutting mania on the plot. Here we go.
I think we must have had the bile beans, Phil.
Nice sharp pair of scissors. As long as we've got enough to overlap. It just extends the use of an old coal frame without the expense of buying a new one, because like I said in the last video, it's not about spending loads of money on the plot. You don't want to be spending loads of money. Allotment gardening is expensive enough with all the rents you have to pay and various things like that. So we've got it cut to size, more or less. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the old canvas method of mounting canvas on a frame, because before I was an allotment gardener gardener. I was an art technician. And I used to work in an art unit of a teacher training college. And this is how we used to stretch canvas. So we take it from the middle of the frame here, and we've already secured one end, so we just pull it so we've got a bit of tension in it, and we put a staple in there. And then we go to the end here, pull it again, bit of tension in it, staple that, and then this bit here, pull it there, and staple that. Now it's not as tight as a drum. Ideally it should be done on a warm day so the plastic expands, but it's tight enough for our purposes as it is. Now the next stage is just to take the middle of one side here, pull it slightly, give a bit of tension on that side, and do the same here. Bit of tension, gently pull it, don't have to stretch it so much, and then do the same in the corners here and here. And it's tightening up a bit now. Do the same here, and do the same here. And now we can do the same, just tighten them up in between all the way around. So we're putting staples in the halfway point all the way around. And again here. So a few more staples just to be on the safe side. So outer staples, get it refilled. Refill your staple gun. Do. And to finish it off, we'll just cut the excess away here. And there we are. It's not perfect, but it will do for this season at least, and possibly for next season. There we go. And in here I've got planned possibly about 3 melon plants in there. Now melons are great because they're related to the pumpkins and cucurbit family, so they're warm loving plants, none more than melons, sweet cantaloupe melons. So the thing about melons is if you keep the roots and the heart of the plant warm, then if they trail outside, which these will, because they're trailing variety, they will trail, and we'll have to find a route for them to wander. As long as the centre of the plant is really extra warm, tropically warm, then the rest of the plant and the melons should fruit. That's our experience anyway. But we never know what the summer is going to bring. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and let's give you some idea of what we're up to on this season's allotment journey. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you like, and yeah, share on your social media feed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next vlog from me and Catherine here at Merseybeat. Bye for now.